Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Ryan. This past weekend, I went with my sister and brother-in-law. We kind of went for a weekend overnight trip up to the north shore of Lake Superior between Duluth and Grand Marais. Um, didn't find a whole lot of agates, and the ones that I found, at least, they were pretty small. You go up there hoping to find something like this. You would settle something for like this, but in reality, a lot of times you would end up just settling for something like this. Especially, after if you've been hounding kind of later in the season, end of June, I assume a lot of the beaches have been picked from over the winter. Any storms there, and we didn't really get a big storm that really washed a whole lot of new rocks kind of that night before we got there to give us a chance. But after a little bit, especially the third beach we were at the first day, my body was starting to get a little sore, so I decided to have some fun and just start picking up interesting rocks and not just agates and jaspers and different things like that. Some of them I didn't think would be lapidary grade. In fact, most of them I knew I didn't, but I kind of just thought I'd have a little bit of fun testing some of it out just to see what the rocks were like. So what I'm going to start with, I'm going to kind of start with the more agatey and jaspery type rocks and some of the more on that side. And then for those that might want to see that, and then just kind of go on and show some of the really random stuff that I picked up. Some of it I kind of picked a small either a small face on the rock just to see how it polishes, or I might have even tried to make a quick small cab out of some of the pieces just to see what it's like. But otherwise, go ahead and zoom in here and get a little started on the smalls. Probably recognize this more volcanic ordinary rock. I'd more just pick this one up just because of the colors and how worn it was already. Some of these I may just throw into the rock tumblers with a batch at one time. Not 100% certain what this is. It looks to be somewhere in between a jasper and some other materials, just kind of based on what it looks like and what it feels like. There's probably a lot of this, I assume, is kind of epidote, but I'm not a geologist or highly knowledgeable on this stuff, so I'm not going to take too much of a guess. There's a little bit of vug inside here. I don't know for sure what I'll do with that, whether I'll just keep that like that, or I may try to, even though it has a lot of the other areas, throw it in the tumbler and at least hit the high parts. Kind of just another piece of jasper. Just a little piece of tumble material. when you pull these out of the water, and not being good with the close vision looking up, it was hard to tell what some of these were. But turns out this was just kind of another piece of jasper. I'll throw in this one here already. I was going to keep it for later, but the area up there did have a lot of volcanic and hydrothermal activities, and I just thought it was kind of neat how this looks like a lot of the same material that like a thunder egg would be made out of, the rhyolite, same kind of the same colors. So that's kind of the reason I picked that up. I probably won't do anything with that particular piece. Just pick this one up more for the center stripe that came through this piece of jasper. And kind of also and you can just see how, just sitting on the beach and just from the water action, just how shiny some of these pieces and rocks can be, just coming directly off the ground. Although it just appears to be a piece of chert, I'm going to assume. I did a little bit of a polish on this face here, and like I said in the intro, it was for the most part a quick on any of these, not more than 10-15 minutes to go through all 6 wheels, just to kind of see what the material might shine up like. This one will probably be thrown into the tumbler at some time. Same with this. And a lot of times when you're picking right next to the water, they're all wet, so it was a little harder to pick up on what the materials were until you picked them up, and sometimes even until they dried off a little bit. It's another little piece of look like not banded iron, but just iron formation. Just another one of these that just has a good lake polish to them. Another just a little piece of rhyolite ball. Once again, just kind of just showing how beach tumbled some of these can get. And then coming in here, just pick this one up because of just kind of the little ball that it is. I could just imagine in my head that just being a little bitty thunder egg, but not quite. But you know what I mean? Get a little bitty saw, cut it open, see what it was. Should have a bottle of water here for some of these. And this, I don't remember which one of these was the first one that I picked up, but on some of these, if they're not agates, at least I was happy that I was getting some agate-like material, some chalcedonies. That looks like a, your quartz middle pocket there. And when I was under magnification earlier, it kind of looked like there was a little banding maybe on some of that around there to officially call it an agate. Kind of same here, just kind of add that agate-y look to it. might be a little too small to tumble unless I just find a kind of a batch of littles to throw everything in. Because even sometimes with them that small, even a 3-pound barrel is a little small. Or is a little big, I should say. And then just a little chunk of agate material. I think that kind of fracture or whatever that was kind of in that face there, I told my sister it was probably close enough that I'm going to not call myself being skunked on an agate if that's the most I could find, because I think that I found on the first beach. A little piece of carnelian. Or say, I assume it's carnelian, and not just another little chunk. Like I said, on some of these, it was actually a benefit. By the time I was on the third beach, I was my ankles were barely able to walk. So there was times there where I would just have to stop completely, and I'd bend over and just spend a couple minutes looking at rocks, moving kind of the rocks that were on the top away from the on there, and kind of looking in there. And sometimes I would the sun was mostly overcast, so it wasn't completely helping being able to spot the kind of the chalcedony agate materials. Sometimes I would get lucky. It's kind of fun, nothing else, even just finding the little pieces. This one here I thought was just kind of really interesting, and I assume that's just kind of the center of a little rhyolite ball that probably got worn away or something, but that's about all I can imagine. But I guess if somebody else knows any different, let me know. I may take a couple of these up to get a guy I know at the local rock shop that is a lot more well versed on rocks than I am, and kind of ask him what he thinks on a couple of them. And then this one I found on the second day, Sunday, that we were here, and it's kind of a funny story on that one. That by the time I had gotten this one and found it, my sister and brother-in-law had walked over it at least 5 times between the two of them, and I had walked past it once and was on the way back. But you can see there that that is a legitimate agate, and I can say that my trip was not skunked up there for agates. Don't know for sure how I'm going to polish that. Given how small some of these are, I'd hate to put them in. But if I ever have a batch of smalls that were kind of similar size, I figured I could probably throw those in and see how they did, because then I could kind of control how long they're in there for. And so that kind of is a conclusion for those kind of the more agate jaspery rocks. So the rest of this is just going to be some of them that I found a little bit more interesting, and I'll keep going from here. This is probably looked a little better when it was wet, but just because of all the different colors on it, I picked it up to throw it in the rock tumbler. think this was the first piece that I actually picked up and kept, and I kept it mainly because, as you can see in here, I didn't know for sure whether that was chalcedony that was in these little pieces. You can see little vugs in here, or I think the area is also high in calcite kind of deposits, so I figured at the time it could have been either of each, but kind of thought it was neat looking with all of the different shapes in there to be able to tumble it up or do a face polish or something on it. I can have a little water on. Some of these, when I was looking at them out there, I couldn't tell exactly. This one looked like it could have a little bit of mossy chalcedony in it, so I decided to keep it and see what it looks like when I got home. Kind of a just a piece of shirt I picked up. Another one too. I figured was just could be good to tumble. This green one here, I shouldn't have gotten this one wet. This is one you kind of see the one side on it here, and this is one where I just kind of did a polish on one end. You can kind of see okay polish, and it might get better, you know, as you would do a better job of it, or if you're tumbling it. But you can definitely tell the shine on the one end versus the other, and that had no work on the cabbing machine. Just got a couple of these just because of the different colors that were on them. See a little bit of undercutting, so you know there's a couple different materials in here, even from the and this one was just a beach tumble, so I haven't done anything with this one yet. But I think that one would be kind of pretty after it's tumbled or polished by hand, one of the two. Some of these, when I got home, I don't know why I kept it. Probably looked better when it was wet on the beach. Kind of the first of the little rhyolite balls. I'll show more of them here. I kind of tried to group some of them together to kind of show one or whatever of them, and instead of a whole bunch of the individual ones. Did have some kind of interesting looking, I'm going to assume chert agate. I don't know what the proper term is for some of them. It's probably not the same, but it'd be interesting because, I mean, just color-wise, sometimes it, or that one just looks a little bit, I'm not even going to say it, I was going to say it, gem field color, but not the gem field material. Then kind of a banded shirt looking piece that I got just for the multi-layers. Another one that might turn out in the tumbler, it may not. Okay. A bunch of kind of these rocks that when I picked them up initially, they look like they could be contain a little bit more silicified interiors, and some of them, they look a little bit brecciated. So I just kind of picked them up to experiment on it. This one I kind of slabbed, so you could kind of see what I was seeing on the ends, and that's why I kept it here. I didn't know how far or what that was, whether I still don't know quartz, calcite, and then exactly how it would look in the end. But this one, I actually took a piece of it and made a small quick cab out of it. See, it didn't turn out too bad. These are just through the 3000 wheel, and like I said, these were pretty much, maybe this one I spent 15 minutes total on all the wheels. You can see there's definitely some breakout kind of here on the one, but it definitely polished up better than I thought, even on the darker material, which was, I assume, is some kind of rhyolite. And we'll go to something a little different here. I picked these couple pieces up mainly out of kind of a whim that if I ever got any kind of stabilization, the cactus juice, since that could work on wood, it might be kind of cool to take some of these pieces and try to preserve them, or this one just to let it dry out and keep as a unusually shaped specimen. So those are not pet wood, just pre-pet wood. This one I picked up more for the volcanic nature. Probably just let that one sit out in the rock garden as is. The pink in the pockets there is really really powdery, and so you definitely could not polish it. Another interesting one that I found, and I kind of wish I would have wrote down what Google thought it was, but it's a kind of a really light piece. It's not a big piece, but pretty light for the size, and so I don't know for sure what the kind of what the whitish grayish materials are in here, but it definitely, you can tell, is a light volcanic material. Probably a lot of air spaces in the middle. Kind of wish that I would have found a nicer specimen piece of that, because that almost looks like a perfect preform for a cab. I forgot this little piece earlier. That one I just picked up just because of the shiny flecks that were in this thing. Just kind of thought that was interesting. I don't know for sure what they are. I ended up picking up a bunch more of stuff that looked like this, probably because I didn't realize how much of it I had grabbed already by the end, but you can kind of see here This is the place where I just kind of polished a little bit on the face here, up to about here, so you can see where so you can kind of see that it at least takes a little bit of a shine, but just not a high gloss shine. There are a lot of you may not be able to pick that up here. You might, there's a little bit of glitters from all of the crystals that are inside. So I don't know what I'm going to do with a bunch of these pieces here. I'll probably just end up sitting outside. But there's another one where you can really tell the sparkles in here. So that's kind of why I kept this one here. Might be fun just to try to do a basic kind of freeform polish just on the very outsides on the cabbing machine. Might look okay as a pendant. And then for that type, I just picked that one out because I thought it interesting that again, going back to the other one about the thunder eggs, that I could almost imagine if for somehow this thing had been filled and those voids were on the inside, just what that could have turned out as a thunder egg. Just a little musing while I was probably hobbling on the beach. Got this one here again because it looked like it was a little bit more silicified and might have had a little bit of moss on the inside. And so I actually took a piece of it and made a small cab out of it. Didn't turn out too bad for the time that I spent. It would have been a little bit bigger, but it kind of split off a kind of a third of it on one of the ends. This one definitely turned out a little better than I thought it was going to. These were just kind of some, I just wanted to cut a couple of these others open here. They're kind of like an amygdaloidal basalt kind of formation in here. But a lot of these, the pebbles and whatever the orbs that are inside them just don't always hold up when you're sawing them, and or even through the wave action, or some of them may not have even ever been filled in. There we go. Back to autofocus. And I did not make anything out of this particular one. A couple of the small pieces that now that I've gotten to them. That's where I light. I don't know how well that'll tumble up. And when I figure I'll throw in I'll look at that again because that almost looks like there's some light play in there, which might lend me to believe that that may have gotten mixed in there from some kind of boulder opal. So just ignore that one. I'll have to check that one out later. If so, sorry about that. Yeah, kind of looking over here, I know the area is kind of a copper area up there too, but from what I was doing on the Googling, some of this might be other materials, including chlorite and other materials, but this one kind of broke apart into little chunks. And but you can see here the materials on the interior here are still pretty soft, so I don't know what you couldn't really count on the green, but it's still another rhyolite that shined up pretty well. Kind of wish the green would have been a little more stable. It might have had a nice look to it. Kind of the same thing going on here, but I'll just probably keep that one as a sample. This looks to be a little bit different outside material, probably still rhyolite, just a little different colorings and whatever, but once again, I think the greens on there are just, they're not completely soft, so they're not powder soft, but they're definitely, I don't think going to be able to be, oops, I don't want to run it, I was just going to use it as a pick. So you can kind of see, you can poke some of the material out of there, so definitely not something that probably be able to be used for lapidary, but it was kind of fun to try. Kind of the same with these here. And that's just going to be more the same. We can skip that one. This one I got just more because of the different vugs and the specimen pieces, and depending on what I do, I may throw that one in the auto feed saw and try to cut that one in half, just to see what the insides look like. And finally, when I saw this one on the beach, I don't know, when I was looking at the top, it and it was wood, it kind of looked like it may have been magnetite, but I think it's something else that's pretty soft, and because when I tried giving it a polish, it's definitely more polished than not polished, but it's really grainy. So I don't know for sure what the material is, but still kind of looks cool, and might make it out into the rock garden sometime. So, well, that's everything that I have here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, for watching, liking if you do. I will. I almost forgot that one. That one I just picked up for kind of the subtle colors on it, but you can see it was starting to get an okay polish on it. So I'll throw that one on tower. So with that, we'll talk to you later. But